Yeah, everyone, how we doing? Welcome back to me, Scotty at Scotty Talks MUFC. How we doing this miserable cold? It's not even cold, it's Christmas, what do you expect? Nah, it's not even cold, but what I tell you what, well, that's another game done and another loss. That makes it played 44, 45 under this manager, and we've lost about 18 or 19. When is it going to be enough? When is it going to be enough? We got some big games coming up. These next 3 games, we need to be getting three wins. That's beyond Man United. That's beyond Man United. I do not see them winning the next 3 games. However, I would take 7 points right now. If someone said to me over the next 3 games, where we've got Newcastle at home, I believe we've got Wolves at home as well, and then Leeds away, I would take 7 points right now, just because the run we've been on. This was a straightforward 10 games where I thought we should have been at least getting about 24. I thought between 21 and 24. We're not even going to get about 14, 15 at this rate from these 10 games. And it's just, the manager's thrown so many games away just with bad decisions. Today he went with the best team he could. It's a shame that Menu's got injured before the game, and now I'm not his biggest fan, but I have to give Bruno credit. He turns up every week. Whether he plays good or not, he's there every week. Now today, I actually thought he had one of his better games. He didn't really do anything wrong, which is a positive. But what he did, he was just in and around the game, and it's just a shame that when he was having one of his better games, that is, it was hamstring. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Just because we're short in numbers, it had to have happened when the old players have gone to the AFCON. It might have been easier had we had them 3 who have gone to the AFCON still in the squad, but it is what it is, and we have to go with what we've got. Now the game, it's just a shame that they scored from 2 defensive errors, because the first goal, what was Yoro doing? What was he doing? I've been saying for weeks now, he's there, but he's not there, if you know what I mean. Mentally, he's not there. He's just lacking, like really, really lacking. And today proved it again. He was at fault for the first one. Then I thought Dalot and Yoro were at fault for the second one. Saying that, Cunha should have scored his goal. He absolutely should have. Still, I thought Cunha was the best player in our park for us. I thought Rodgers probably just shaded it just because he got the 2 goals. Didn't really see much of him more than. In fact, if anything, Cunha was probably the most productive player on the pitch, even though he missed a sitter. Now, if I was to overall match reflection, I don't know what I can say really, because Bruno went off and it changed the game. I thought second half, I was really surprised at the second half. I thought we were going to get blown off the park, but we held our own. We had some good possession. Now I'm not getting frustrated, but Sesko needs to really come to the party. He's doing nothing. He just seems to be so off the pace, and he needs to get with it. He needs to offer more than what he's offering, because I don't think it's fair that everyone else is doing their shift and he's getting away with just ambling around. And that's what he's doing. He's just ambling around. Okay, he only had 1 proper chance today, but he didn't look convincing. That's my point. Does it matter if I do a match, a player rating? Because I thought everyone, okay, Lamens, I'd give him a 6. Yoro, I'd give him a 3, just because, to be fair, he doesn't even deserve a 3, he deserves like a 2. Heaven, I thought Heaven played well today, so I'd give him a 6 or maybe even a 7. But given we lost, so it's a 6. Shaw, same. I thought Shaw's been poor of late, but today I thought he'd played well. Wing backs, Dalot, I had him as a 5, but given what he did for the second goal, it's down to a 4. And too many times his end contribution was poor. So yeah, 3.5. 3.5. Dorgu, on the other hand, I've been critical of Dorgu throughout, but today I'm going to give him a 5. He should have left with 2 assists. Them 2 assists aside, 1 assist and the other one he didn't get. He's just not convincing. His touch is poor. His control is just no end product. He just never there. He's never at the race. He seems to be lacking, and he just slows the play down. So again, I'm going to stick with the 5 for him. Bruno, I would have given Bruno a 5, given the way he played. Ugarte. Now there's a player who's just desperate to get off the books. Listen, we have to open the door and get him out, because he's dreadful. He is absolutely, dreadful. Even if he's been playing every game up till now, he just proved that he's dreadful. Maybe he just looks worse that he's playing against Bruno. No, he didn't. Sorry, I take that back because that's unfair to Bruno. He's just dreadful. He's not a Man United player, and why the hell Ineos bought him, God knows. So the sooner we get rid of him and get a proper midfielder in, the better. We might have a chance of winning a game. Sorry, there's just a car in the car park doing donuts, or at least it's trying to do donuts. Sorry, I want to make sure I'm not in his way. Oh, sorry, I've just given you a little frontal of him. Right, okay. Whoa. Right, okay, he's moved. He's moved. Right, sorry about that. I thought it was going to be nice and quiet, but anyway, he's gone. So we were at Ugarte, right? So Ugarte, I think he's played his last game. At least it should be, but given where we're at, and Kobe might be saying that, he might be a conundrum. Bruno looks like he's going to be out for a few weeks. Same with Manu. So the manager's going to have to start with Casemiro and Ugarte. Now in a 2 he might be better. Now, did you know what the crazy thing is? This just could be what we've been looking for. Did you know? Because the manager's set in his way and he's rigid in his formation. But given that he's not got the players he wants to play, he now has to change his formation, and playing a holding 2, them 2 together, Casemiro and Ugarte, may be the making of Ugarte. But only time will tell, and Newcastle's only on Friday, so we've not got long to wait. Mason Mount, for me, now I've been championing his case then he's better when he starts, but not today. He huffed and puffed, but that's all he did. To me, he got bullied. He absolutely got bullied from everyone. So, and there's been a lot of talk of late of Semenya. If Semenya came, it'd be at the expense of him, even though we're not getting rid of him. But Semenya offers a lot more than Mount does, because he's not going to get bullied like that. No chance. He's quite a big lad. Where Mount's quite frail and injury prone as well. So that's Sesko didn't really do much. I'd give him a 4. Cunha man of the match, 7. Yeah. I was going to say 8, but given the second half and the miss, so I'll give him a 7. Subs, Lacey and Fletcher. Now, this is about the manager. This manager's known that the players were going to go to the AFCON, so he should have integrated his players sooner. They should have been ready. They should not be making their debuts today. They should have been ready, not thrown in at the deep end when we're losing 2-1. Go and make a change, lad, with 10 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go. That's just bad management. It really is. So they're getting a straight 5 anyway, because they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything wrong. They didn't do anything productive. Zirkzee, same. I put him in that boat as well. And to be fair, Leacher was the only defensive change today, wasn't he? Yeah, and that was forced, or did I can't remember if Yoro went off. I think he did. He did actually, didn't he? This manager keeps making defensive changes every game. It's just diabolical. It really is. But on to the next one, which is Newcastle Boxing Day. Where I'm at with this manager, I don't know. I'm going to stay off Bruno now, because I've been really critical of him, like really critical. Because I've been critical, so I have to look at myself and review it and reevaluate it myself, and I need to look at myself for being so critical. Bearing in mind, this guy's been in for 4 or 5 years without missing a game. He's there every week. Just that I have to respect that. Now, I'm not saying... I was on a live earlier on just after the game, and I was having loads of players asking me, is he world class? And I said, he's not a world class player. I mean, when you're talking world class player, in midfielders, I'm talking Zidane, Iniesta, Pedri, Xavi, that ilk. So Scholes is in that talk, Keno's in that talk, but KDB's in that talk, but this guy will never be in that. He's in the tier down. Now, that's not to say he's a bad player. He's still a good player, but he's not a world-class player. Now, to me, he never will be world-class unless he was dropping 10 out of 10s for the rest of the season. Then I would have to reevaluate it. But I've been watching him since he's come here, and he's never consistently given that. So, like, people have been raving about Odegaard and KDB. KDB, understandable, and he's streets ahead of this guy. Streets, miles. But I've got to give the credit to this guy. He's playing in a team that every manager's not put players of the similar standard to him on the pitch. Because I feel if he was at any other team with similar kind of players, they'd get better results than what they're getting. Especially now, this is the worst team we've had. And in the last 4 years, this is the worst Man United team I've seen. And it shows where they've been finishing. We went from 8th to 15th. God knows where this manager's... We're a mid-tier table. We're a mid-tier table team. And yet, I'm champion that we're the biggest club in we're one of the biggest clubs in the world. We're the biggest in the UK by a mile. But we're not behaving like that club. Everything we do, like the chat that came out last week about Bruno. Bruno says the manager wanted me to stay. So I went to the board and they said they couldn't tell him if he wanted to stay or go. You're the board. You're getting 120 million or 130 million for a player who's 30 or 31. You know you're never going to get that money again. We've had the best years out of him. Let him go. We're never going to get that money now. It doesn't matter where we open the door and put a for sale sign for Bruno. The maximum we're going to get is between 60 and 80. And that's only if he goes to Arab world. If he goes to Europe, you're looking at 40, 50. 40, 50, that's all we're looking at. So if you'd went to the Arab, when Al Hilal, I think it was, that were after him, we should have cashed in. We could have gone and got 2 top midfielders to fill in the gap. And our team is lacking, missing. Bruno got injured. We didn't have a midfielder to bring on. We had to bring a defender who's coming back from injury, thrown in at the deep end. That's all we are. Everything, every year on year, it's round holes, square pegs. Every single year. It was under the Glazers the same, under Ineos it's the same. When is it going to change? Now, I've been crying out for this, screaming out for this. We need change and we need it now because it's never going to get any better. It doesn't matter. There is only one way we're going to get out of this, and that is spend our way out of trouble. And spend on big quality players, not the likes of Ugarte or Dorgu. We're going to stay a mid-tier table team with the signings of that quality. Semenya improves us. Wharton improves us. Baleba improves us. Getting Anderson improves us. That's the kind of players we need to be looking at. That's the kind of players we should, as the bare minimum, and only players of that ilk will improve this team. Not if we're getting fodders like Dorgu and saying, there you go manager, let's go, climb the table, get me a Jesse Lingard. What are you going to do with that? Nothing. Now, I've been saying it and I've been saying it again. Let's see what January brings. In fact, how long do you want to give this manager? Given in mind he's played 44 or 45 games and he's lost 18, 19 of them games, and he's only won 14. That's a fact. He's only won 14 games. How much longer do you want to give the manager? If he loses the next 3 or the next 2 out of 3, is that curtains for him? For me personally, if he loses against Newcastle and Wolves or Leeds, or 2 of the next 3, he has to be gone. West Ham, Nottingham Forest have sacked their managers for less defeats than our guy, yet our fans are still meant to be, our board are expecting us to stand and support this manager. How can we? It's a joke. We're Man United. Why are we settling for this? This is an absolute joke. We need change and we need it now. When? What are they going to do? Give him more money? Now, this will be the case. In fact, if he loses the next 3 games or 2 of the next 3, saying that, we've got Brighton right after in the FA Cup. So if he loses 4 of these games or 3 of these games and we're out the FA Cup, he has to go. That would be it for me. Why am I going to give this guy more signings when this guy's not shown me anything that he can cut it? Because up till now, 18 or 19 losses over 14 wins. Doesn't cut for me. That's just Premiership, by the way. I'm not talking about all the other things that he's done. Forget them. Let's talk about Premiership, because that's the bread and butter. That's where you're based. And he's just not cutting it. He really isn't. Is it time for him to go? I've made a video about it. I've made videos about it. So I'm going to reserve my judgment now. I'm going to give him the next 3-4 games. After the Brighton game, we'll see where we go from there, because I think that's a fair cop. He's had half the season. He will have had half a season this year. He had more or less 30 games or 28 games last year. So that's enough. That's more than a season. That's enough time to evaluate where we're going to go with this manager. Is this the guy to take us up, or is he just going to keep us where we are, or like where we finished? Europe is there for the taking, Champions League is there for the taking, but this guy is making hard work of this. Don't blame it on the AFCON, don't blame it on the injury. Every club has injuries and they've got players going to the AFCON. So let's come back to this. After all, we're Man United, and this was meant to be a summary of the game. Overall, where we are. We did play better than we did against West Ham and Everton, so credit to the manager for that, or whether it's just the players had enough and they're just playing how they want to play. But what can we do about our defence? Our defence it's like knife through butter. We're that easy. We are that easy, it's a joke. And you know, I can't believe it's Christmas weekend. It's the last weekend before Christmas, and it's dead. No one's having parties. What's the world come to? It's quiet. Honestly, no snow. Maybe that's what we need. We need snow. Yeah, right. For now, thanks very much everyone who have supported me throughout. My next one's going to be on Boxing Day. I don't think I'll be doing one in between, but my next video is going to be on Boxing Day. No, tell a lie, I'll do a pre-match beforehand, so I'll drop that. I'm going to drop it early this week just because it's Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and everyone's got a lot to do and things like that. So I'll drop it in early just to get it in there. So, and if you missed me, do join in with me on Boxing Day, and I hope everyone has a fantastic festive season. Peace, love and respect. On to the next one. Cheerio for now.